Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all well. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I'm just going to do a quick video. Well, hopefully it's going to be quick. I'm going to show you step by step how I made these Kraft gift boxes. These are still available in the catalogue on page 140 in the annual catalogue. Lovely little gift boxes, and I've filled them with biscuits. I'll show you in a minute the biscuits and all that I've used to make the projects. I've made 15 of these. They are gifts for my ladies coming to my Christmas workshop, which was yesterday. When you see this video, it will be yesterday, and I did 15 of these, 12 of them for the workshop and a few for other friends. So we'll get started and I'll show you what I did. Hope you enjoy the projects today. Just put those aside. I have got a whole pile another pile sitting over the side there that I've already completed. I'm going to show you right from scratch how I decorated them. These are the Kraft gift boxes that you get. There's a pack of 10. Can't remember how much exactly they were, but they're on page 140. The code for the boxes here in Australia is 156569 if you want to order any. I started off with the blank, and I have stamped this in VersaMark around the edge, and it comes up just like a watermark on the edges of the box. And all I used was my VersaMark and this stamp. I'll show you the stamp sets that I've used. I've used this one here, Merriest Moments, for the flowers and the leaves, and this detail piece at the back, and I'll show you how I did that shortly. And the little Merry Christmas here is from Cottage Wreaths. I also use these bauble dots that are going on the front of the greeting. That's that. I've used the embossing folder, Merriest Frames embossing folder. I die cut it first from the die in here, which is this one here, and then I'll show you how I cut it. I cut it out first with the die, and then I run it through the embossing folder. I think some people said you can run it through as you die cut it, but I've never done that. I'm not going to, in case I muck up my embossing folder. So then I embossed it with this, and then I'll show you where I went from there. These little bannery pieces on the ends, I used my banner triple punch, but you can freehand banner end them. And I'll give you all the measurements as we go. That's that one. Then my I've used my gold adhesive back swirls on the flowers, the 3 flowers. These are new. They're out of the Fitting Florets collection. Very pretty little gold gems. The DSP I've used in the background is from the Holly one, Boughs of Holly DSP. I did run the DSP lines this way on these ones, but I think the way I've cut the next lot, they're running the other way, but it doesn't matter which way you run them, it still looks nice. So that's those. Then we'll start off with the base of the box, and all I did was go around with VersaMark, and when you've used this with red ink, you can see it stains. I just wash it off. I clean it with just a wipe at first, but you still get ink stain, and if you use just VersaMark, you'll end up with a pink stain here. It says it won't transfer, but it does. But what I do, I go and use a little bit of dishwashing detergent, just a mild one that you use in the sink in the kitchen, and I wash it. I just scrub it with my hand, and it'll get all that pink off. Then just stamp it with VersaMark onto a piece of scrap until all the pink comes off. So, because you don't want pink around, I didn't want pink around here. I just wanted like a watermark effect. So we'll just go around, and I just did the 4 corners like this. I'll just show you one. I've already prepared some because you need to set this a little aside a little while to dry, so it loses its sticky. Once it sits for a little while, it stops being sticky. It's just like an ordinary stamp once it's dry. And I've just done 3 on each side of that. And when they dry, they do come up darker, as you can see here. They start off light, but I can still see the sticky on that, how it's still sticky. So we'll put that one aside. We'll clean that later. Put that away. That's all we need that for. And here's another one I've prepared earlier, which I'm going to show you how to assemble. You most definitely burnish all your score lines first. Most important. Otherwise your box does not fold very well when you come to put it together. So I went around and I burnished all the score lines. I did hear a lady say she didn't burnish hers, and it was so hard to keep the box sitting flat, especially once you've stuck it down. It doesn't sit very flat, so just take the time to go around and burnish it all, especially these longer pieces. It's quite simple to put together. If you've ever done boxes, they're not too difficult to work out. You've got a top and a bottom, and the bottom forms a box by itself. I think that's all of them. Yes. Then we'll do the bottom first. So I start in the middle here. I'll just get my pick tool. I've got a little dish here for my rubbish. So I'll take these 4 off. That's the top of the front of your box, or the top of your box. So this is the bottom, and this is going to go together as you would a normal box. So just fold it in to the box, to the base side of it. That's one there. Make sure they're nice and straight along there. And this one, just the 4 corners, and that's the base of your box done. Then you've just got the 2 on the lid. These 2 sit together at the front. The only thing on this box that I haven't that is not Stampin' Up is my twine. I couldn't find a nice sparkly twine. I wanted something with gold in it, and something that was soft, and I didn't have enough of anything to do all 15. So I bought a roll, and I bought it years ago, wherever I put it. Don't know where I've put it. I'll show you in a minute. There it is. It's rolled underneath. I got this at a cheapie shop. Not even sure what brand it is. Sophisticates. It's 50 metre twine, and it's white with gold through it. And it's a nice big roll, so I used that. That's the only thing that's not Stampin' Up. But I don't think we'll mind in this case. So that's your box put together. Quite simple. Easy as. Then we've cut, and I'll give you the measurements for these, all the pieces that I've cut. My band that's going around this way, I called it a wraparound. It's 12 inches by 3 inches, and I'll show you how I'll do that in a sec. I'll just go through all the pieces first. These banner pieces, my back banner, I've done that in Evening Evergreen, and it measures 6 inches by 2 inches, and then I just banner ended the two ends with that punch that I showed you before. And then the gold piece, this is Stampin' Up. I think it might be retired, but I think there is a sparkly cardstock in the current catalogue. I'm not sure, but you could use any gold. I just wanted a bit of sparkle on it, so I used this one, and it measures 5 1/4 by 1 1/2. When you cut glitter cardstock, I always cut with the glitter down so the blade's not jaggering into that. You don't get nearly as much drag on it. So I always cut from the bottom, and then I just punch the ends out with the same punch. So that will sit on there, and I've used either tear and tape or my snail or my red tape on this box. I found that the Tombow does not hold it firm enough. Now this piece here, my detailed piece, that's how it's cut once you've embossed it and all. And what I did, I'll show you, I just got my little trimmer, and it doesn't matter which way you put it. And I put it under here, so I got it nice and straight. The first one I did freehand and it wasn't very straight. So I'm going to cut it from that edge there. From there to there is 3 inches. So I'm going to cut it pretty much in half from this edge. So I'm lining that edge up with the 1.5, which is this mark here just before the 4 centimeters. I lined that up and down on that line, and then just chopped it in half. And then those two will fit back together just to make it a bit smaller, because I felt the other one covered all the underneath piece by using the full spread out piece. You could leave it spread out like that. Maybe even put it this way if you like. You've got overhang there anyway, but you could go this way and make these longer to the edge of your box. That way you'd still see them, you wouldn't have to cut them, but I decided to cut them. So that's that piece and that piece. Then my little Merry Christmas, this measures 1.5 by 2 inches. The 2 inches the height, and I stamped it with the little Merry Christmas from the Cottage Wreath stamp set, and those little baubles. That will fit in here once we stick these two together, and it fits just nicely in there. But before that, and I've prepped one earlier, you need scrap for your flowers and leaves. Just some scrap white, doesn't take much. I've got 3 leaves and 3 flowers cut, stamped and cut. The flowers are in cherry cobbler, and the leaves are in soft succulent. So that's those bits. Now I can put that aside because I've prepped one earlier. I've got plenty here to prep. So what I did, I stuck these two together with either snail or tear and tape. I've put red tape on the back because this has to stick to this gold glitter. I tried tear and tape, it wasn't strong enough. I tried Tombow and it wasn't strong enough. It just kept lifting up. The red tape, if you've got it, doesn't matter what width you use, just put a few strips over the back, and that will stick to. These are all stuck with the red tape, and they haven't lifted yet. So what I did, I placed my flowers. I just glued them onto the little greeting panel. 2 flowers at the top and 1 down in this corner. Just make sure you don't cover up your Merry Christmas. Then I glued the leaves behind each flower on the corners. Then I put dimensionals all over the back of that because that's going to sit up a little bit onto that frame. So I dimensional that all the way up so we can put that on there. I'll just take the backs off all of these. I thought if I prep all this beforehand, I've got to put them together anyway for a few more boxes that I haven't quite finished. A friend of mine came yesterday and she loved them, so I gave her one. It's not hard to give them away. So I've just taken the backs off those. I'm a bit overboard with my dimensionals, but I do like them. Now that one's stuck together, either with red tape or tear and tape. And then I'm just going to layer this, center it inside the rectangle piece there, and sit that on there. So that layers that up a little bit. And then these two together, which I haven't put, I just used Tombow on this because it's going cardstock onto cardstock. Actually, I think I used snail originally. I will use snail. I find it a little bit stronger than the glue, and it's easy enough to keep straight. So I just put a few strips of snail along there, my seal, and then just I've just eyeballed the sides and the top and bottom, nice and straight. Stick that together. Then this will go on top of that, which we can just take off the backs of the, give them a good push down hard when you're sticking something down so that they grip nicely. The weather's not too good here today, but I'm recording this, so when you see it, it might be, I'm not going to record it till after my workshop, because I know some of the ladies will watch my video and they'll know what they're getting. I've got a couple of little surprises for them. So this here will go on the center of this, and I've just eyeballed it with the cutout pieces on the side and top and bottom. So in the center there, and give this one a good push down because it is adhering to that glitter paper that you can just see underneath. If you want, you could make these a little bit longer and your glitter one a little bit longer. If you want to see more of it, I was quite happy with that. Now the this piece, that's the back. I'm using the front, and what I do, I put the join at the front. Now you want to wrap it over, and I did wrap it firmly to start with, but when I stuck it down, I made sure I loosened it a little bit, because you want to be able to slide the whole piece off. I crease this on the sides so it gives it a nice finish like that. I put some tear and tape. I'm just about out of this one, but I have got another one there, so we'll see how we go if we've got enough. Just put a strip of tear and tape on this. You won't see this join, it'll be underneath the main feature at the front. Give that a good press down. Now when you put this on, I just made sure I didn't pull it really tight again. I just loosened it a tiny bit, because you want to be able to and get it nice and straight on your sides. So you can see it's got a little bit of a bubble up like that, and if you go like that, it's going to come off easily. I'll show you when we get the whole thing together how easy it is to come off. Now my twine, make sure I put that on before. I found the front of it first. This is the front of the box here where it lifts up this way, and I started at the back, left a bit of a tail here to tie my bow, and I just wrapped this around twice. 1, 2, measured the same for my bow, snip that off. I've still got plenty of twine left even after I do all of these. So it doesn't matter how it sits on this, you can cross them over or you can leave them straight. Then I tied a knot first, and not too tight but not too loose, enough to hold it firmly around the band. Tie a knot first and then a little bow. Just has to be a simple bow, and that way the bow is right on the edge of the front of the card, of the box I should say, not card. So that just sits right on the front edge, as you can see this one here. So that's that. Then I centered that back in there. You can put your twine wherever you like. I'll see if I can cross them over. Doesn't really matter, they'll end up going wherever they want anyway. And then I got this, and I used snail on this. It worked quite well because it's going to stick straight onto this paper and across the ribbon. I did do lots of snail. You just need it in the middle because it's just going to cover onto this here. And then I centered this whole arrangement on the top of there. Try and get it in the middle and give it a good press down, and that will hold onto there. There's enough sticky on everything to hide. I don't think it's going to fall apart too soon, and you'll feel that's nice and secure on there. And that is my little box. Now I'll show you, because so you don't have to take all of that off. You don't have to even have to undo your bow. You just slide that whole thing off. And we open the box, and I'll show you what I've put inside. I bought these biscuits from here in Australia in Woolies. They have these home-baked, I love shortbread biscuits, any sort of shortbread biscuits. These are in Woolies. They were $4 each on special, normally $5, I think. And you get four different cutout shapes. There's a Santa, a star, a tree, and a bell. And there's 12 in the box, so that did me 3 cards in each box. So it was quite cost effective. It wasn't too expensive. So I bought a box of those. Then I individually wrapped them. I'll get one of each. 2, 3, and the bell, 4. So I've individually wrapped them in little cello bags. I did have the bags here to show you somewhere. Here we go. These are from my cheapie shop. Little sealable bags. They're just the right size. They measure 73 millimetres by 100 millimetres, and there's 80 in the pack, so it's very cost effective, and they were $2. So that's, I bagged them all up in there. They've got a seal on them, and they just fit the 4 nicely inside the box. Doesn't matter if they overlap because you've got a little bit of width on the box. Close it up, put your band back over, and that's my little gift. How cute are they? I just love that sort of thing. I hope they enjoy them. I'm not a chocolate fan, so I avoid doing chocolates. And also they melt really quickly in summer here. So I thought biscuits are quite nice. I love a little shortbread biscuit with a cup of tea. So that's my project for today. I hope you enjoy that and give them a go. You can decorate them however you like. That's just some ideas for you if you'd like to have a go. If you're interested in joining my tips and tutorials page, which it's called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. I haven't got the little bannery thing out at the moment, but if you just go into Facebook and type in Laura's, Laura''s, Craft Room Tips and Tutorials, and you can join that group. And all my PDFs, all the measurements for these will be in there, and all the other cards and projects I've done. I also put the link to my videos in there. And there's also, here's the details here. My Facebook page is called Cards by Laura. Cards by Laura has got all the projects that, or all the cards that I've ever made. There's no PDFs or anything in there, or videos or stuff. It's just my cards and a couple of other little posts. I went to a nursing home the other day, and I'm going back again, and there's some photos there of some lovely little ladies that put some cards together. So hop on there and have a look. And if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'd love you to join. Just hit the subscribe button. It's called Creative Gems. And that's about it from me. I hope you enjoyed it today, and I hope you have a go. I'll go ahead now and finish the last couple. I've only got 3 more to do, and everything's prepped for them. So have a lovely day, and I'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.